Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world. This is Howie, and I'm here to help you win with money. In this episode of Back to School, I'm going to cover all my summer travel trips so far and some of the travel hacks that I use. So let's get right to it. So here's a quick summary of some of my travel so far this year. Towards the end of April, I did go to Melbourne, stayed at a Fairfield Inn, which is this one here, really nice property. The area next to it is all new, and it's really beautiful, and it's really close by the cruise ship. So that's exactly what I did. I stayed at a hotel, I paid cash for it, and the reason why I did that was there was a special promotion at Marriott. For every night you pay for, you get credited for 2 nights. And really the next day, I hopped on a cruise from Port Canaveral, went to Bahamas, and I did pay cash for that trip. And you can see, I didn't post a lot of pictures of it, but I did hop on a cruise and really had a great time, and it was pretty affordable. Then I did do a trip to Gainesville, and I stayed at a hotel. I used points for that. I didn't post it, but you can see the actual stay is right here, and you can see that I actually did get the bonus points, but I earned nothing because I didn't pay cash for that room night. For the room that you do pay cash, you do earn a base earnings, and then you get some bonus from the being elite, and then you get the extra. And then on top of that, obviously, if you're paying for your credit card, there's some extra bonuses through your credit card if you're using a Marriott branded credit card. So the next trip I did was last week. I went to Atlanta. My kids were in summer camp in Georgia. So me and my wife went, and we stayed at a really nice hotel called the 12. Really beautiful. And I'm going to talk about some of these in detail. And I'm currently on this trip now. I am filming directly from Long Beach. And I also use points, and I use points for the Delta flight. So let's get into some of the details of what I'm doing. So let's go back to this Atlanta trip. The room rate on this particular hotel was $300 a night. Really nice rooms, huge kitchens, and I'm going to show you some pictures here. I had a 5th floor room, beautiful. You can open this and go outside the balcony. This side is facing the Atlantic, or you can see the Microsoft building out on the left here. Now, even on the 5th floor, you can still hear some traffic. A lot of people have loud mufflers or exhaust cans, or maybe motorcycles that are just loud. You can still hear it, but it doesn't really bother me. It's a beautiful kitchen here. It's a full kitchen. You can see, look at this long hallway, little office. Not a big office, small desk, but it was enough to do your webcam through your meetings if you're still doing Zoom meetings. This unit also has a washer and dryer. And here's some pictures. I don't want to call it the rooftop, but this is an elevated pool. It's about 30, 40 feet above ground, but it's not rooftop. And then I walked around. It was a really nice area. This is my steak and eggs breakfast. Some more pictures here. This is from the pool. There is cabana that you do not have to pay for, but it is first come, first serve. And let's get into the details. So here you can see some rooms don't have a balcony and some of them do. So what you want to do is, if you're booking, make sure you get a balcony. The corner ones are really nice. I believe the corner ones are maybe a little bit bigger than the regular room. And you can see that I did book over here. I booked it here, and I paid $10 for my stay. You can see that. And you're wondering, how did I do that? I used my certificates, and these are the Amex up to 50,000 points. Now, this is not the best use of 50,000 points. I could have used these at the Ritz-Carlton. I could have saved it, but I really don't like saving my certificate. If I know I have a stay that I'm not artificially producing, I had to be in Georgia anyway, I might as well use certificates that I already have. I don't want to just then pay cash or use points for them and then create another stay in the future because these certificates were going to run out. So I don't like doing that. So I know I didn't get the most maximum value for it, but I'm not going to complain because you see this, it's worth 72,000 points is what I use. I paid $10, but the room does go for $300. And then because I love this so much, I actually decided to stay another night, and here you can see I use another 40,000 points, and I pay $5. On top of that, at the end of the trip, I didn't pay anything outside of the valet parking fee, but they did give me some bonus points back, so I earned another 2,000 points. So I spent 40,000 points, 2 certificates, but at the end of the event, I still got 2,000 points back. Obviously, if you're keeping track. So now I'm on my next trip now. So this trip is over. I am currently on this Courtyard Long Beach Airport. You can see here it's in progress. And this room, I just Googled it today, it's still over $300 a room night. Now you're wondering, why is it so expensive for a Courtyard? Sometimes when there's a local event at nearby, or a sporting event or a football game or basketball game, sometimes the rooms sell out really quick and there's no rooms available. So this Courtyard, while it's pretty nice hotel, it's really expensive. It's $340 a night. I am staying here for 6 nights. So you can imagine how much that's going to cost me. This is what the hotel looks like. Across the street is a really nice, I think it's like 25-acre Long Beach Exchange. There's a Whole Foods in there. There's a couple of shopping. There's some nice places to eat. Great place. If you've never been here, go visit the Long Beach Exchange. And what's interesting is this. On this particular trip, my high schooler, his robotics team, have won the regionals, and they went to the world competition for the robotics. So I had to fly on the same flight. So that cost me a pretty penny. I used freaking flyer miles, so it cost me a lot of freaking flyer miles. That flight was delayed, and I got meal vouchers. And with that meal vouchers, I ended up buying airport food. I went to the Columbia restaurant in Tampa Airport and got myself $59 worth of lunch just for 2 of us. This is me landing in Long Beach. I wanted to try some noodles, some local noodle shop. The classic In-N-Out burger, for those of you in the West Coast, you will know what that is. We don't have that on the East Coast. And this is what I'm here for. I came for this mate ROV competition. And my high school son is on the team, and they're having a blast. And here's some of the details of how I did all this. So the hotel was 12 in Midtown, Atlanta, Georgia. The room rate again is over $300 a night. I stayed 3 nights. I paid $15 in fees. I used 2 certificates, 40,000 points. I did have a valet. I did choose to do valet. I didn't want to walk. You could have done that. You could have parked the car underneath the ground. There's an underneath parking where you can walk back to the hotel, and it's maybe a 5-minute walk or even shorter. But nope, I opted for the valet parking, $36 a night, $108, and I was okay with that. On top of that, I did get a breakfast voucher and a $10 food and beverage credit for a total of $40 a night. Generally speaking, with 0 cost, or if I bought something very expensive like steak and eggs, and I had some other stuff like coffee, orange juice, and everything else. I mean, one day I had a breakfast that was almost $50 or $60 just for 2 people. But again, you subtract $40 out of it, it's pretty good deal. You can have a decent breakfast for almost $10, $20, and I consider that a decent value, considering some days I didn't always eat like that. There are some days where it covered gratuity and everything else. So really, you can walk out of there without paying for breakfast. So that's what I love about it. Great hotel. What I want to say is you can't beat a room that's 700 square feet, full kitchen. We're talking about full-size refrigerator, full-size stove, full-size microwave. If that's a stay where you want to stay out for a week or longer, and there's literally a Publix just down the block, and it's not even a full block. You can walk there in 2 minutes. Really great location if you want to stay and walk around. There's a movie theater, a lot of shops in that area. Really loved it. I definitely would stay there again, and definitely would like to explore other restaurants when I'm in that area next time. So after that, I literally came back to Florida, and then next day, hopped onto a plane. I flew Delta, and again, this is part of my high school, my son's high school team. Now, Delta charged me well over 100,000 miles for that flight, but the high school team had a group discount rate where they booked it for all the students and the chaperones. And my understanding of it was each seat costed over $1,000 a seat. And because I wanted to be on the same flight, it costed me a lot more miles. Could have been cheaper if I used a different airline, or maybe land at a different airport or a different day. Sure, it would have been cheaper, but I wanted to be on the same flight with my son. Cost me 100,000 airline miles, zero cost out of pocket. The flight got delayed, got the $60 meal voucher, ate at the airport, $59, left whatever, $10 tip. So it was a great meal. And then for rental car, I actually went a different route with rental cars. I went with a Turo or a Getaround. You can rent cars from other, it's like a ride sharing, or a Turos where other users can rent their personal cars. And that's how you do it. Now, is it convenient at the airport? It's not so convenient. You actually have to take a shuttle. You leave the airport. The car is parked in a secondary parking lot where you got to pick it up. Now, this particular gentleman had a great setup. He can remotely open the car door. All you had to do is call him, say, I'm standing in front of the car. He opens the door. The key is hidden in the car. He'll tell you where it is. Worked out really well. Reasonable rate. Spent less than $140 so far. But that's my recommendation. Sometimes if car rentals are very expensive, you may want to look at some other alternative. So before I go on, hey, I know many of you watch some of my videos. Some of you are my friends, and you're not a paying customer. One thing I'm going to ask, you should consider supporting me by using my referral links. If you're not going to pay me for my services, at least use a referral link. I will get compensated through points or some type of referral bonus. Same thing with Coinbase. If you use a Coinbase and you sign up for it, I'm only going to make $10 from that. So if you're never going to sign up as a customer to be a client of mine in my financial coaching business, I'm okay with that, but you should support me through referral links. And for this particular video, you should click on one of those Marriott credit card links that I generally promote, or you can do it on my YouTube channel. Generally speaking, you'll see the links provided there. But anyway, I'm using credit card for points. What you need to do is pay off your credit card in full each month. Recently, I did use a down payment on a car on a credit card. Most car dealerships will allow you to charge up to several $1,000s. In the past, I think you can even do $5,000 or $10,000. Today, they don't do that anymore. Most car companies have a $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 limit, and that's what I did. I end up putting a down payment on a new car on a credit card, paid it off in full, earned the points, because the points will give me value in the future trip that I'm going to use. Now, some people ask, okay, well, this is wonderful. How you get all the points? So last year in 2021, I got over 225,000 miles, and none of it came from business trips. I have not done any business trip in 10 years or more. All these trips that I do are personal trips, or what some people call mattress runs. When I'm trying to hit my platinum level for my Marriott, like in 2021, I was short 4 nights. I needed to do a mattress run. I picked the cheapest hotel near where I live, and I think I got it for $70 a night. I only needed 3 nights or 4 nights, but I booked, it was actually cheaper for me to book 4 nights, get the 5th night free, and then pay for it. And it worked out really well, because when I did that last year, I think I spent less than $450 for the mattress run, hit my platinum for 2021, which enables my benefit for 2022. And that's what I did. So I got all these miles from last year, mostly just doing things like referral links, signing up for credit cards, all personal stuff, mattress run. So far this year, most of my trips have been free. So I showed you that over here. Back to the starting one. I paid $121 for this hotel room. Got this one for free. Got this one for free. Got this one for free. Again, this one was $15 and some points. But this one I paid zero. This trip in Long Beach is zero. So that's how I'm doing it. You can see the prices. You can see what I'm saving. I'm not paying $300 a night. I'm using hotel points. And these are trips that I have to take. My son was at this competition. I wanted to be there to support him. And these are trips that I have to take. If I didn't pay with points, I would have had to pay with cash. But it was $2,000 in hotel savings. I used 150,000 points, which equates to about 1 cent per point. So what's my goals next? You can see my current point total is about 464,000 points, 46 nights. So my next goal is I need to hit 4 nights. I'm 4 nights short of 50. And if I hit 50 nights, I will be a platinum member again for next year, for 2023. It gives me the SNA, 5 SNA awards, which is the upgrades for the suite upgrades. So sometimes you can get a 1-bedroom upgrade or 2-bedroom upgrade, depending on what you want. Sometimes some hotels, especially overseas, they will bump you up to an even nicer room. Some people get the presidential suite. Some people get the corner rooms. Some people get 2 bedrooms or 2-floor rooms. There's a lot of great benefits with these upgrades. For me, that's what I'm doing. I have some conferences that I have to go to. It requires me to stay at a hotel. So I'm using points a lot of times to get these rooms for free. In short, this is how I'm doing it. You can travel, have a great time, save your money on things like eating out or things that you have to spend on. And in other areas where you don't have to spend, use points to get there relatively cheap. Now, the last thing I want to address is some people, especially Dave Ramsey fans, said you don't get rich by using credit card points. And I agree with that statement in general. No one gets rich spending, you don't spend $100 million to earn the 1 million in points. That just doesn't make sense. But what I will tell you is this. Most people who are wealthy or rich use the points to stay rich. I originally wanted to stay at the Ritz-Carlton using my certificate, and I could have. I choose not to, and it wasn't because my certificate was not valid. When I went to Atlanta, I had a choice of staying at the Ritz. I chose not to because one is there was a valet parking fee of, I think it was $55 for the downtown Ritz-Carlton, and it didn't even have internet provided. And for me, that made no sense. So I'd rather stay at a different luxury brand hotel where I knew I can get internet, I can do work remotely, I can do other stuff. So that's how you can stay rich. I could have stayed at Ritz-Carlton that cost me $400 or $500 a night, and I could have gotten it for free. But in the end, it didn't have a lot of value to me. There's no purpose of me staying at the Ritz and then sort of spend more money on parking and internet and other things that I would have needed. So I end up staying at a hotel that costs about $320, I think, a night, which is really great value. I got it for free. Again, I paid $10, or mostly $5 a night is what I paid. If you're upper middle class or rich, you can use points to stay there. Just in the last 2 weeks alone, my hotel bill would have been well over $3,000. And what I didn't show you was Valentine's Day I stayed in a hotel. There was a couple other trips. My son had a swimming competition that I needed to stay in St. Pete. I stayed there a few nights. There were some other hotels that I stayed at. And if I paid cash for all these hotels, it's easily, you can spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. And I use my points so that I don't have to spend the cash. So my points are saving me money. The points don't make me money, but it saves me money. The other thing is, if you're buying everything on a credit card and paying it in full, the points can add up to 1 or 2 or 3 hotel rooms every year. Travel hacking, credit card hacking, collecting points, it does work only if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, probably not going to be worth it for you, but you can definitely save a lot of money. With that being said, hey, let me know what you think. Comment below. As a financial coach, I'm here to help you win with money. As always, let's do this together. Let's do this $1 at a time and have a profitable day. Bye-bye.